The Bones and Bobbins podcast is now on Patreon.
Whee!
Would you like access to bonus episodes, actual digital extras, and exclusive merch and more? Join us in the Curiosity Shop at patreon.com/bonesandbobbins.
Your generous support helps make the show happen and will also earn you our very eternal gratitude and entry into our private Patreon-only Facebook group.
Which is super chill and fun, and filled with all the things I find when I have insomnia, and if I have to experience it, so do you.
Mwahahaha.
Yes.
I mean, I personally enjoy your insomnia-related chaos.
Yay!
In a dusty old shop on a forgotten old street, you'll find two witches with books 3 boxes deep. Next to rusty old needles and faded red thread, you'll come in for yarn, but leave with pigments instead. Whether poisons or patterns, we're always discreet, where creepy and crafty and morbidity meet. Welcome to the Bones and Bobbins podcast. Hello, morbid makers. We are your slightly creepy,
Mildly disconcerting,
somewhat sinister,
delightfully discomposed,
opaquely odd,
merrily morbid,
marvelously misanthropic hosts.
and this is Bones and Bobbins, Season 5, Episode 4, Pray Jesus! We back! Praise Jesus.
Oh,
Praise Jesus.
praise Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm Haley from Red Handled Scissors and the Very Serious Crafts podcast, and I go by she and her.
And I'm Natalie from Uberdork Designs, an official true crime creative, and my pronouns are she and her. So hey. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing? Much like Eminem, we are back.
Haley's back. Tell a friend.
Back. Yes.
Funny because his kid is named Haley.
I know.
And
And he's
so
going to be a
am I.
grandpa.
That's
He's gonna be
fucking
having a
bonkers.
baby. Isn't it? My kids were floored when I don't remember which song it was, but it came on, and of course I went word for word, and my youngest looked at me and went, you know Eminem? I'm like, he is older than I am.
Yeah,
It's fine. He's aged very well. I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah,
that
he
right
looks
there.
great.
He looks very nice.
Yep.
Loving his return.
10 out of 10 would hit it. And probably
I'm loving-
immediately quit it. But, yeah, would hit it.
Indeed, indeed. So, hey, it's been a
Hi.
minute.
Well, as you know, but our listeners probably don't. Or, well, I guess some of them do. If you are in the Patreon and are privy to the Facebook group, you probably already know. But I have just fucking abysmal mental health. And I have gone on many adventures with medications and adjusting them, and now I have been put on a third antidepressant. Third concurrent, not just we tried 3. So, that's why I've been gone for a while. I've been a little bit not exactly great at adulting.
And we are all about mental health. And so that takes precedent over any recording.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I would have just sounded like a zombie, so it wouldn't have been very helpful. But I am slightly less zombified right now. I am 60 days in, I think, to the third antidepressant. So I have literally all the reuptake inhibitors. I've collected them all, like Pokemon. And I think I'm crawling out from my cave.
You're doing amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going on, and also I got a surprise new cat.
Yes, how is Kitty? Kitty's
Well,
adorable.
so her name is Palmerina, and I've been calling her Pom Pom because
I like that.
I think her previous person called her Pom Pom, but because New England accent versus Midwestern accent, Pom Pom is pretty accurate all around. So, she's a little old lady cat, and she is a sweetheart. She's tiny. She's about 7.5 pounds.
Oh my goodness, so
Yeah,
tiny.
she's little, and
She looks so sweet.
black and white spots, and her nose is heart-shaped. And
It is.
yeah, and she's very cute. And we just went to the vet to get her all checked out before introducing her to the
Thing one and thing two.
thing one and thing two. She's been with me for a month tomorrow. And so she's been in the parlor. I have a gigantic window screen for reasons unclear that doesn't fit any of the windows in my house, but it's all of the windows in my house I can literally stand up in. It worked really great, along with some 15-pound hand weights, to make a fake screen door that none of the cats seem inclined to climb over. So they've been able to see and smell each other for like 4 weeks at this point. And, of course, because I like to collect medically complicated kitties, her medical report came back with some, as my vet put it, curveballs.
Okay.
But most of those curveballs do not seem to be impacting her.
That's good.
She seems fine. We just, she's a statistical anomaly. Let's just say that.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean me too. That's fine.
Like it seems like, the right home for her.
Oh yeah, I was telling my dad on the phone last night about her medical report, and he just started laughing. He was like, "You do like the complicated ones."
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, "Yeah, well," but she is a sweetheart. She's got a little scratchy meow. Sounds kind of like she's been smoking 3 packs of Virginia Slims a day
Like
for
Marge's sister.
Yeah, exactly. Like 50 years, and she's not gonna quit now.
Nice. No, of course not.
So, and she's a master biscuit maker,
Oh.
and you can hear her purr from other parts of my house.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
Kitty.
So she just needs to finish one medication. She gave all the cats fleas originally, and then she tested positive for Giardia, which is...
What is that?
Oh, it's an intestinal parasite. It's especially nasty. I've dealt with it before.
It sounds like a erectile dysfunction medication.
Yeah. No, right? I've dealt with it before. It's pretty common in shelter cats. But she wasn't... It's one of those really hard to kill things because it sheds, oh no, not gonna remember that word. That's fine. Whatever the infectable part that it sheds, she's not actively shedding it.
Oh.
So it's fine, and probably she won't infect the other cats. But just to be safe, we're continuing to only have them have nose to screen access to each other.
That's wise.
Yeah.
So does she have like diarrhea then? If it's
No, she doesn't have. She's asymptomatic.
Okay.
Spores. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
So
yeah,
she's.
That's fun.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a new elderly cat, but here we are, and so hopefully
the cat distribution, system never fails. So.
Oh, I know, and it sees me coming from a mile away. It's like, oh, your medically complicated cat is no longer with us. And I'm just
you
like,
have an opening.
Yeah, so I had an opening, and a cat appeared. So, oh my gosh, she's so cute, though. We'll have to post some photos on social media, and I'm hoping that she and and Jack and Phryne will get along, since they have been able to see each other and smell each other for a month.
And I'm sure it'll be fine.
And Phryne's like prancing by the door, because I try to spend a couple hours in the parlor with her every night, just, for snuggles and scritches and brushes and all of the things. And the entire time, Phryne races down the hallway. Like, our main hallway is outside the parlor, and just and I think she wants to meet Pom Pom. So fingers crossed.
Awesome.
Yep.
I mean, you could do what I do, which is just throw down mass amounts of catnip, get them all stoned, and everything sorts itself out.
Yeah, but I have a tortie in that mix.
Oh yeah.
And the tortitude is strong with that one.
Yeah. So. I think it's funny that the problematic one.
Yeah.
Ronald Ulysses Swanson. He's more chill than the tiny pretty one. She's more feral than him.
Yes.
And he used to So for updates, for those that are not on the Patreon, very important updates. My goal of books for reading this year was 24. I'm at 41. So
hot damn.
Ass. Right. Thank goodness for Libby. I'm also thinking about purchasing a New York library card. I think I might invest in that to give me extra reach for books. But yeah, so I've been...
Come back to me off the mic with that.
Okay. After 3...
I know a guy.
Nice. After 3+ years of French so that I could read articles on a French lesbian bar, I have switched over to... I've had to shake it up because I got a little bored with French. I'm not gonna lie. And I was stuck between learning Korean or brushing up on my Japanese. And as my eldest will be teaching in Japan over the summer, I decided to resurrect my Japanese. So I know these are important life updates that people need to know. So there's that. Sneaky
it's
Pete.
True.
Sneaky Pete is a new thing.
Boo,
Patreon knows about it. Yeah, we don't like Sneaky Pete. So long story short, which I'm actually capable of doing sometimes, I went in for a routine CT scan to check on something. That turned out to be perfectly fine and wonderful. But in the process, they found that my left ovary has a pomegranate size thing in it.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranate, yeah. Unbeknownst to me. So we're keeping an eye on it. They've checked my levels. I have to go in for an internal ultrasound, and they're also going to do an endometrial biopsy, which is super fun. Love that for me. Big party. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's a teratoma, and I told them if it is, I want to keep it.
Yes.
I want to keep it. I want to put it in a jar. Like, absolute jackpot would be a teratoma that has teeth would be great. Eyeball would be the best. Can you imagine?
Yes. Yes, I can imagine.
I've named him Sneaky Pete because did not know he was there. I did a little tiny stint last month in the hospital for them to do a bunch of tests on stuff. And I found out, in addition to my giant juicy veins that make phlebotomists happy, I also have some magical kidneys that are kicking ass. So, that's got that going for me. I can add that to my resume.
I mean, good for you.
Right?
Oh my goodness, the moon is rising outside my window right now.
Ooh.
And it is gigantic and bright orange.
I love that.
It's rising over the mountains. Huh. Wow. It's huge.
That's awesome.
And it's staring at me. Anyway, sorry.
And then, if you are not a member of the Patreon, then you have not heard the full story, but you are aware of the fact that they did find who murdered my aunt, and that it was an unsuspected serial killer, so the story has not entirely ended there. I do have now, though, in my possession, which I've not had the bandwidth to check out, but I do have a thumb drive that has literally all the files from the case.
I think you should take your time and do that when you're ready.
I'm going to, but I'm also going to, I did a little poll, and people in Patreon were cool with me, bringing you on that journey.
Oh, yeah.
With me, because,
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's interesting and stuff. So, there's that. And then finally, last update, is, the Order of the Good Death, which we have talked about a bajillion times.
Caitlin.
Love
Who
Caitlin.
I don't know, but I want to.
Right? Caitlin, call us. Because, she listens. But they are having their first fundraiser called the Memento Mori fundraiser. So I signed up for it, and of course named it the Team Bones and Bobbins.
Excellent.
I'm going to put a link in the show notes, and I've created a line of... So you can go to the link if you want to join it, if you want to pledge. You can also go to my website. I created a design that says all men are cremated equal. If you are a member of our Patreon, you're going to get a free sticker. I've ordered them. As soon as they come, I will pop them in a note card and send them out to you. But I have that design. You can get it on a mug. You can get it on a tote.
Whoa, it's completely dark behind you, and your hand just appeared out of the darkness, and only your hand.
Sorry about that. But proceeds from anything with the all men are cremated equal design on it go to the fundraiser as well. So, and then last but absolutely not least, go fucking vote. Check to make sure you're registered.
Yes.
I had been checking to make sure that they had I was monitoring my mail-in ballot, and it said that, that it accepted my request for one back in January.
Yep.
But I wasn't getting it. I had to contact our little tiny town hall and be like, hey, and she was like, well, I don't have a request. And I had to send her a screenshot because myvote.wi.gov absolutely had that it had been accepted. So I had to work with them to actually get my ballot and then like keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And then it's been filled out and I've mailed it back. So I'm going to have to like then monitor it to make sure they actually receive it. So,
Yep.
and I know that there's been issues, and issues sometimes happen. I'm not saying there was a big conspiracy or whatever, but you know what?
Oh, no.
People
I
are,
imagine you experience small town,
right,
not enough employees, lots of
right,
shit going on.
technical glitch, like
Yeah.
whatever. The point is that it is so fucking important to vote this time. I
Yep.
mean, it's always important, but this is probably the most monumental vote. So
Yep.
please make sure you're registered. Keep an eye on your ballot if you requested a mail-in one. If you have any questions about registering, reach out. I'll help you. Like,
Yep. Me too.
if you don't know where to go, if you don't know what you need, the cutoff for Wisconsin to request a mail-in ballot was the 16th. So that's no longer an option. But, like, if you need a ride to the poll, if you need to figure out how to get an ID, if you need an ID, in the state of Wisconsin, you can get a free ID for the purpose of voting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the DMV, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. You get a photo ID, and you can take it in and vote. You can also register. I'm 99% positive you can register if you want to raw dog this shit. You can register at the actual poll the day of for voting.
Not
Also,
for all states, but
right,
yeah.
in Wisconsin. Also, if you do have a mail-in ballot and you want to take a photo of it and be like, look, I voted, make sure you check with your state and what your state laws are, because every state is different. I made sure that I went to the site, I could post a picture of the ballot, but not my vote on it. So
yeah.
don't make silly mistakes that could cost, a vote or a fine. I don't even know what it would be. I suppose it depends on who wins the election. But yeah, please go vote. Please and thank you.
Yes, please do. And if you need, if you maybe aren't plugged in politically and you want to know more about what you're voting on, ballot measures, people in your local races, there is a site that allows you to build your own ballot. So you basically can make a cheat sheet for what you're interested in and have that with you if you need it. And that you can find that and also volunteer information and voting information generally at votesaveamerica.com.
Yay!
Yeah. And I'm not affiliated with them. I just found them to be useful.
That's awesome.
And since I'm in Vermont, I don't have a whole lot of useful information, but I have a Michigan area code on my phone, and oh boy, am I getting all of the texts.
Yeah, I'm Wisconsin, so I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So now I think we should take a quick little break to thank all of our fantastic Curiosity Shop members over on Patreon, and give a very special, totally normal, not at all creepy welcome shout out to our newest members, Nikki Swagger and Ursula Avery. Welcome, my wonderful human beings.
Yes, you're the best, and we would totally go explore hidden old graveyards in the woods with you.
Yeah, and this time of year, and it was like 29 the other day. 29
Oh yeah,
degrees.
it hit 32 here, and my windows frosted up in the way that old houses do that looks beautiful and is terrible for your heating bill.
Oh, yes. Yes. And if you want in on this fun, not only are you going to get your own lovely shout out and some really great super secret surprises that are actually starting to show up on Patreon, because I've mentioned a bajillion times and I'm finally getting that shit done and up.
Wahoo! Glad one of us is.
Basically, you'll be able to build your own grimoire, because I'm finally getting, putting up the spells and cheat sheets that went along with some of our back episodes.
Cool.
And then also some tarot spreads. So fun stuff like that, and that's in addition to like all the other blurbs and fun stuff. But you also get a ginormous backlog of Patreon only episodes. So we're talking like, I think we're on, the next one I think is number 71. So there's at least 70
I was going to say, I think we have about
there.
70. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's, and there's some stuff on there that don't like I dive deep on my aunt's murder and just my life growing up with it. There's some fun episodes with family members that joined us. My eldest decided to text me in the middle of the night as though they were perishing as a Victorian child. And that text exchange went up there because it was so funny.
It really was funny.
So, just a lot of little fun stuff, in addition to the Facebook fun that goes on too. So yeah, join us. Give us a join. Check us out. And
apologies in advance if my mental health causes additional small pauses. I think I'm on the upswing. So
I just want you on the upswing.
Maybe we can get back to normal.
And whatever normal is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a setting on the dryer. But but in the meantime, I'm gonna do the topics today. And we'll keep that up as long as Haley needs it.
Thank you.
You're very, 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 very welcome. Because like I said, mental health absolutely more important than than anything else. So
yeah, guys, my hair fell out. Just saying.
Yeah,
I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it. Whew.
Haley has
mental
been
health,
going
no
through
joke.
it. So seeing people squeeze through tiny openings into hidden caves gives me all kinds of anxiety, because I could never. Now, if that cave held 1.3 billion pounds of cheese and you could very comfortably drive a forklift through it, like, I think I'm in. So yeah, if you didn't guess it from the praise cheeses, today's show is dedicated to cheese, and I'm kicking it off with the Missouri Cheese Caves.
I am so excited about this forbidden dairy product.
Yes, poor Haley. Our tale of hidden cheese glory begins in the 1970s. I mean, technically before that.
I mean, what didn't?
Right. This was before either one of us were born. In addition to watching the economy tank, the country faced another crisis. An unprecedented shortage of, that too. But also an unprecedented shortage of dairy products.
Not the cheese.
Yeah, all the dairy.
Oh.
And as the prices of other foods were inflated, dairy prices specifically went up 30% in 1973. And it actually got worse when the government tried to intervene, because it ended up like dropping prices so low that the entire dairy industry was absolutely not having it. So the farmers were like, we won't have dairy then, because we can't. So enter 1977 and newly inaugurated President Jimmy Carter, who is still alive and kicking it and placed his vote.
I was going to say, he just voted.
He did. Who, in an effort to motivate production and alleviate the dairy crisis, because not only does it affect the people, who are consuming the dairy, but farmers. I mean, farmers are hard workers, and it's a two-part issue. So he worked with the government to set a new policy that would pump $2 billion. And we're talking like the 70s billion dollars. I didn't look it up what it would be, but I will look it up later and put it in there.
Oh, I'll look it up right now while you talk.
Thank you. Into the industry via subsidies over the next 4 years. But $2 billion spread out over 4 years is still a shit ton of money then. Now, the farmers who had been struggling were obviously like all kinds of on board, maybe a little too on board, because now they started producing.
God. I have the answer, and it's huge.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's Oh wait, did I do? Oh no, I'm not even. I'm an order of magnitude off. In fact, hold that thought. I put 2 million, not 2 billion.
Oh, okay. Oh God, so it's gonna be even more than that.
Okay. That can't be right. We're no. You know what? You go ahead and talk while I wrap my mind around how many zeros is in this.
Okay. So now they were producing as much milk as they could in order to take advantage of the government support. I mean, who wouldn't in that position, right?
Right.
Well, this resulted in a big ol' overcorrection. So not only were we now flush with dairy, the government was having to
flush.
The government was now having to purchase the oversupply from the farmers. And milk doesn't exactly keep for long. So they began to process it into cheese, butter, and dehydrated milk powder, which is nasty.
Okay, I now do actually have the answer.
Yeah.
2 billion in 1977 has the equivalent purchasing power of $10,405,973,597.36.
That is a lot. That's amazing.
Holy shit.
We gave that to farmers now?
Yeah.
Oof. So, as dairy farmers produced more and more milk, the government stockpiles ballooned. According to anthropologists...
I like that the government stockpiles dairy.
Right? Just wait. Just wait to what they stockpile.
Okay.
According to anthropologist Bradley N. Jones in the Oxford Companion to Cheese, winner of the 2017... Yep. You heard me right. The Oxford Companion to Cheese, which was the winner of the 2017 James Baird Award for Reference and Scholarship. Don't worry.
Fucking good for him.
Right? Eventually, that stockpile hit over 500 million pounds and was stored in hundreds of warehouses in 35 states.
Oh.
Now, the government,
Can you imagine how it would smell if one of those stockpiles caught fire? It would be like the largest grilled cheese sandwich ever.
Oh, grilled cheese. The government then started to face another problem, and that was what to do with all that cheese and how long does it really last? In 1981, a USDA official told the Washington Post, quote, "Probably the cheapest and most practical thing to do would be to dump it in the ocean." that is not a wise thing. Thankfully, they did not choose to do that. And now, while my brain chooses to have visions of smoked Gouda and bricks of Swiss and wheels of brie, this is government cheese we're talking, and I should probably take a moment to clarify what that is for those who are fortunate enough to be unaware of what that is. So I should probably start with the fact that government cheese itself actually goes way back, which is why I could probably have started this even earlier. The processed cheese was used in military kitchens during World War II and has been used in schools since the 1950s. Distributed via rectangular box that had USDA stamped all over it. The exact ingredients
I've seen these.
Yeah.
In, like, food prep. Like, college prep, I think.
Probably.
For the dining hall.
The exact ingredients to this distinctly bright orange block of shelf-stable sustenance are, well, vague. Wikipedia sums the vagueness up fairly well. Quote, government cheese is pasteurized processed American cheese. A term with a standard of identity. It's produced from a variety of cheese, cheddar cheese, Colby cheese, cheese curd, or granular cheese, made meltable by using emulsifiers and blended.
What the fuck?
Other ingredients specified in the standard of identity may be used. Now, I did manage, through the magic of the Wayback Machine, to hunt down the 2007 USDA commodity requirements PCD5 pasteurized processed American cheese for use in domestic programs, which provided the following standards. These are lovely. Physical requirements. Pasteurized processed American cheese and blended cheese physical analysis requirements shall comply with the following. And this applies to the loaf slices and blended cheese slices. Flavor. Its flavor shall be pleasing and characteristic of processed cheese made from mild to medium cured American cheese and shall be free from undesirable flavors and odors. Body and texture. The body shall be smooth, medium firm, resilient, and free of pinholes, crystals, or openings except for those caused by trapped steam. Its texture shall be close and free from lumps, graininess, or uncooked particles. Must slice freely, show not more than slight brittleness or roughness, and the cheese shall not stick to the knife or break when cut into approximately 1/8 inch slices. Ribbon sliced cheese shall contain 160 half-ounce slices. The slices shall be stacked, and shall easily separate from the stack. Color. The processed cheese shall have a uniform medium yellow color and an attractive sheen. No visible signs of mold shall be permitted. And then finally, meltability. The cheese shall have been tested for meltability in accordance with AMS methods of laboratory analysis and shall be at number 3 or higher. Oh, meltability. Sorry. That makes more sense than metallability. I'm like, why are they testing
I thought
for
it was
metals?
metabolism related.
Yeah. Nope. It needs to be able to melt.
Yeah.
While there are requirements listed, many will tell you that the blocks varied. Either way, the term government cheese brings forth a lot of different emotions to those that grew up with it. I have linked an incredible article written for Taste by Bobby Dempsey titled The Tyranny and the Comfort of Government Cheese. In it, the author writes, sometimes the cheese was hard and dry, tough to cut, with a tendency to crumble when you tried. Other times, oddly, it was soft and adorned with a glistening sheen that was far less appetizing than anything with the word sheen has a right to be. While the taste has been described in many ways, the general consensus is that it could be best categorized as a sort of mild cheddar. Many people have compared it to Velveeta, or at least the poor man's Velveeta. And that's one thing, is that it's pretty much like if you ordered Velveeta from Wish, for the most part. A lot of people deem it as very similar to like the Kraft singles.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why, but I have visceral memories of removing bricks of cheese from these boxes. Like
it's packed
really
the same way that
like I know what it feels like inside. Ugh.
Yeah. So all of this brings me to Reagan. One of the things that got him elected was his joy of touting inaccurate stereotypes of, quote, welfare queens and poor people who were allegedly gaming the system. Now, early on in 1981, he pledged, after getting inaugurated, to reduce the federal food stamp program. This was during a time where hungry Americans were still suffering from the after effects of the recession.
Mm-hmm.
So people were already upset about that. And then the public got wind of the existence of all that surplus cheese, and they went after Reagan. Rightfully
That's what made
so.
them go after Reagan?
I mean, cheese, man. They were yeah. I mean, it could have been I'm guessing any kind of food product. But it's like, we're starving, you're accusing us of leeching off of you, even though we have a shit economy that you're not fixing, and you're sitting on a pile of millions of pounds of cheese? Like, it's absurd. In December of 1981, Reagan then caved and addressed the public, stating, quote, at a time when American families are under increasing financial pressure, their government cannot sit by and watch millions of pounds of food turn to waste. So, vowing to free a whopping 30 million pounds of cheese from the country's stockpile, he created the Temporary Emergency Food Assistance Program, which began handing out the blocks of processed cheese to the elderly, low-income people and organizations that serve them. You could go to, like, community centers and pick this up. Now, I say whopping because that's not even 10% of the stockpile that we had at that time. So there are some sources that do cite that ultimately it was 300 million pounds that we gave away, but the poundage is kind of, there's some discrepancies. There's discrepancies in quite a bit of just the stockpile to begin with. But it was at this moment that the term government cheese was really born, and it is continually referenced in culture, ranging from songs to Snoop actually teaching Martha Stewart how to cook with it on their show.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, oh my God. They're delightful together.
Yes,
honest to God. It is just adorable, their friendship.
Them at the Olympics.
Oh my God,
favorite.
so exactly. He was scared of horses, so he brought her with. Honestly, Snoop and Flavor Flav at the Olympics I can't even. Just so cute.
That's what I want out of my retirement age rappers.
Seriously. And Eminem, because he's not quite retirement age, but he is definitely good to look at. So, university...
Yes, but we don't need him to be joining them quite yet.
No.
He's still doing
the
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, University of Louisville Associate Professor Kristen Lucas interviewed families of that generation to understand how they remembered the 1980s recession in general. And every single person she interviewed brought up the cheese. One woman remembered how her brother kept the cheese boxes because he stored his baseball cards in them. And like even years later, they had moments of nostalgia over that cheese. And again, sometimes it's good nostalgia, sometimes it's bad, but it's definitely a if you know, you know. So whether it was 30 or 300 million, Reagan's program still didn't deplete the entire stockpile. Enter the 1990s. In an attempt to empty the storage once and for all, the National Dairy Promotion and Research Board created the Dairy Management Inc. And its goal was to squeeze about as much milk, cheese, and yogurt into big name brands as possible. Bloomberg report went as far as calling DMI the Illuminati of cheese, describing it as a secretive government-sponsored entity putting cheese anywhere it can stuff it. Which, I mean, that I'm all for that. But they brought us, you know, stuffed crust pizza and the whole Got Milk campaign.
I liked stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, yes. It is to this day. Like,
I mean,
think
it's so gross, but also...
Yeah, so good. It's like Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Like, it's so bad, but so good. By 2000, Americans were eating 32 pounds of cheese each, which was 4 times what we were consumed in 1970. DMI's hard work paid off, and soon enough, the cheese storages were effectively emptied. Or were they? I'm guessing by now you're like, hey, you keep saying storage. What about these frickin' cheese caves you spoke of?
Exactly.
Well, this is where the mystery lies. Are the
cheese cave mystery?
Yes. Are the caves of cheese an old urban legend? After reading theory upon theory, I am going with Cornell University agriculture economics professor Andrew M. Novakovic, who seems to be the most quoted authority on this. He explains that Missouri's cheese caverns were once enormous man-made caves that were created for mining purposes. Quote, once the mining operations played out, the remaining system of caverns were recognized as an opportunity for climate-controlled storage with massive holding capacity and access. The caverns have extremely tall ceilings that are able to accommodate large tractor trailers and can run into the millions of square feet, meant for large equipment to easily drive in and around to drop their loads. End of quote. Sources estimate that the former limestone mines to be around 3.2 million square feet and have an elaborate cooling system regulating the warehouse's temperature and relative humidity to help preserve the goods. My favorite quote on this, is, quote, the U.S. government owned so many stocks of cheeses, butter, and non-fat dry milk, they were running out of places to put it. So they use this underground storage facility. Think Indiana Jones and the final home of the Ark of the Covenant. Now, why Missouri? Well, having an abundant and porous limestone forming more than 7,000 caves will kind of get you nicknamed the Cave State. Our buddy Novakovic explains that, quote, a large variety of foods are stored in these caves because they're so amenable to climate control. The natural underground temperature is in the low 60s with moderate humidity. The vast majority of storage in these facilities is commercial, but the government does use some of them for food storage. Now, there is a lot more politics regarding dairy, but I am not going any deeper in it because
endless
I really don't
politics.
Care. Right? The important thing to note, though, is that the government is still involved in dairy production, and the overstock is huge. Now, despite back when we were cranking out the stuffed crust pizza and consuming like a ton of dairy, now Americans, as of 2022, are allegedly consuming just a little over half the amount of dairy that we were 30 years ago. And part of that is estimated...
That surprises me.
Right, and part of it is estimated that there's that 36% of Americans are lactose intolerant.
Yep.
Which, yeah, but at the same time, is there enough actual cheese in government cheese to trigger that?
That is a very good question. I mean, it's usually dairy proteins.
Right.
So,
and I know that,
I don't know.
and we also have a lot more. Now, they say consuming less dairy. We do have a huge intake of soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, even people that do drink or consume cow dairy products.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of goat milk and goat cheese, which I have friends that are lactose intolerant but can totally eat goat cheese.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Living in Wisconsin, dairy in general is my God-given right, so I don't know that I would be able to grasp a shortage of dairy, and I would also be very sad if I was ever to develop lactose intolerance. I did have my bestie and roommate that moved out to California with me, ended up having some kind of medical thing where he was not allowed to eat dairy for like 2 weeks, and I just remember him standing in the middle of the Safeway yelling at the top of his lungs, "I am from Wisconsin. Dairy is my God-given right. Why is it in everything?"
I ask that question pretty frequently.
Right. It still is.
As
So
my family had a dairy farm.
Oh.
Yep.
So all rumors of current cheese cavage points to a 3.2 million square foot warehouse. Sound familiar, like square footage wise? Known as Springfield Underground, which opened in 1946 as a limestone quarry. Is there cheese? Yes. But what type and how much remains a mystery, as the company rents storage space to private clients and kind of debunks the myth that government cheese is hiding inside.
I mean, the government could be one of those.
Right?
I mean,
So, quote, "The USDA is not a tenant of Springfield Underground, and we do not have a pound of government-owned cheese," Christina Engel, CFO for the Erlin Group, told Food and Wine. That said, Springfield Underground is a critical part of our nation's supply chain for many of our tenants' products, including cheese. Their site also has a blurb under history that states, "Cheese caves myth, debunked. Springfield Underground, an Erling Group company, is a commercial industrial park with an advantage of underground storage. Through our sister company, Gold Zone, we are able to store refrigerated food such as cheese for our tenants. We are not a government facility, but rather a multi-generational family business that stores products such as cheese underground."
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe.
Right? They run about
I'm going full Mulder with this one.
Oh, same. They run about 500 to 600 tractor trailers through every day. There's 3.5 miles of roadways in there, and trains also run through it.
Yikes.
Now, although the USDA continues to hold millions of pounds of cheese and other food resources in cold storage, it is said that out of the nearly 1.5, 1.6, 1.3, depending on who you ask, billion pounds of cheese, only about 300 million pounds of it belongs to the USDA, which I find interesting because we've seen that exact 300 million pounds before.
Yes.
The rest is owned by private companies and stored by the USDA. Right? Wait, what other food resources, you ask? I'm really glad that you asked, because I hunted down the 2022 cold storage report that I linked in the show notes.
Ooh.
The USDA shows a little less than 1.5 billion pounds of cheese in storage, along with 355 million pounds of butter, 211 pounds of pecans, and and give us this one, and just less than 1 billion pounds of French fries.
Everything makes sense except the pecans.
Right? Like cheesy fries galore, right? Now, that's a lot of food, no matter if it's for the USDA or them storing it for others. Also, if they're storing it for other people, like where? If not Springfield Underground, then where? Where is all of this stuff?
Area 51.
Right? According to the mental
or
floss...
hangar, whatever the hell it is in Ohio.
According to a Mental Floss article, by 1981, dairy surplus cheese, butter, powdered milk lurked under Kansas City and other locations. Oh. In the caves, one could find barrels of cheese weighing 500 pounds, quote, free cheese in 5-pound loaves, that's the government cheese, and 50-pound sacks of dry milk. Kansas City alone was home to 161 million pounds of the stuff. So why so much talk of Springfield Underground? Now, I did find a Springfield...
Why are we hiding it?
Right.
Why are there... I mean, I guess that is a, strategic wartime issue.
I'm guessing. Because, again, it's more than just the cheese.
Can you imagine going down, I'm thinking going down into a manhole in New York and ending up in the areas underneath the subway and just coming across government cheese.
Oh, I'm taking some cheese.
I'm not sure that I'm taking cheese from there.
But, no, but they have other... See, I've seen photos, and there's more than just the... That's the thing. There's more than just the, quote, government cheese. Also, pecans have a lot of protein in them, right? So, I mean, it makes sense.
I wonder if they just don't go rancid as quickly as other nuts.
It's possible. I'm going to have to look that up. But again, I found a Springfield News article from May of 2022 stating, quote, Dairy Farmers of America has stored dry dairy ingredients in the warehouse for about 30 years. DFA's Springfield manufacturing plant is at 800 West Tampa Street. Specifically, DFA stores milk, cheese, and nutritional powders and non-fat dried milk. President of Ingredient Solutions Martin Bates said, as of February, and this was again of 2022, DFA was storing about 7 million pounds of raw material at Springfield Underground. These raw materials are made at the Springfield plant, stored in Springfield Underground, and then sold to other food companies. Are people confusing the DFA for the USDA? Are they a government organization? There's so much mystery about how much, who has it, where it's located, that it's almost comical. But at the same time, it's also concerning. If we can't keep track of or, divulge where the cheese is, I don't know. No matter where the stockpile is being kept, I am just ridiculously happy to know that caves of cheese exist.
I just now want to check, maybe the weird trap door in my basement that I think is a well is actually storing government cheese.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is that there are actual cheese caves beyond the government. There are people that do manufacture cheese that have their own cheese caves to store them in. Storing cheese in caves is not a...
No, that's an
novel idea. It's an actual
thing. Right.
Which also then kind of muddies up...
Age-old. Oh, gosh.
Which muddies things up.
Yeah.
That brings us to our final little quick toe dip into tyromancy.
Oh.
Derived from the Greek tyros, meaning cheese, and manteia, meaning divination.
Oh, no.
Tyromancy, or tyromancy, is the art of divining the past, present, and the future by interpreting omens found in cheese.
Oh, absolutely not. See, my Midwestern even came out.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, leave the cheese alone.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
It was first officially mentioned in the 2nd century in the writings on dream interpretation of Greek historian and professional diviner Artemidorus of Daldis, also known as Artemidorus of Ephesus.
Okay.
As he had a very vested interest in being the only authority on divination, he stated that cheese signifies trickery and ambushes, and that tyromancers sullied the work of true diviners like himself. He argued that they were
wait. So cheese fortune tellers sully the work?
Yep.
Specifically?
Yeah, well, I mean, he, not just them, but also...
There were enough to make him mad, though.
Yes.
Okay.
And he argued that they were more in league with those who practiced evil types of divination, including dice diviners and fucking necromancers. Because you...
Evil cheese divination.
Yeah, cheese to death. This guy seems super overdramatic to me, and I'm not sure that I can trust anybody that has that much hatred of cheese. I'm just saying.
Maybe it makes his tummy hurt.
It makes his ego hurt because he wants everybody just to go to him for things.
Why doesn't he start reading cheese?
Right? In 449, a bishop named Sophronius was accused of tyromancy and other forms of divination at the robber council of Ephesus, which screams of a plot from our buddy Artemidorus. But I didn't even go to that because that would have been even deeper dive, and I don't know how much of that info actually exists.
It goes all the way to the cheese caves.
All the way to the caves. A millennium later, tyromancy was still going strong and mentioned briefly in Francois Rabelais' Gargantua and Pantagruel novel series from the 1500s. But it was really in England during the Middle Ages and early modern period from like 1500 to 1800 that tyromancy really blossomed. At the time, most families had some sort of livestock that produced milk for cheese. And, people love to dabble in the paranormal, especially in England. Christianity
especially everywhere.
I mean, that's true. Christianity was ingrained in most people, so looking for insight into one's predestined future or trying to find a way to gain control of it
required fucking cheese?
Well, it led to, basically a widespread interest in divination in general. And, people still use, whatever tools are in hand to achieve that. And at that particular point in history, that meant cheese. It was much more convenient choice than the previous divination methods, which include, dumping a ladle of molten lead into a bucket of water to see what shapes it made.
I mean, that's really fucking cool. I've seen it done.
It's very cool, but I'm saying if you did it with cheese, I mean fondue. You know?
You have a fair point.
Similar to the process of reading tea leaves or coffee grounds, people also analyze the number and size of holes in the block of cheese, the patterns of the mold and veins, and the shapes that curds made as they coagulated. Basically,
so are they melting the cheese? Is that how this is happening?
It's happening a number of ways.
Okay.
Basically, you tell a story through the shapes that you see. Heart shape, for example, signifies love and happiness. Maybe an odd number of holes predicts that something negative might happen. People use cheese to divine all sorts of shit. The shape, number of holes, and pattern of the mold and other features were used to predict rain, love, money, who committed a crime. Heaven help that person. Whether the year would bring... The cheese says it! You're done! Whether the year would bring a fruitful harvest, how a children's life would turn out, even death. This one's cute, and I can kind of get. So young maidens in the countryside villages would divine the names of their future husbands by writing the names of all prospective suitors on separate pieces of cheese. The one whose name was on the piece of cheese that grew mold first was believed to be the ideal love mate. Don't worry. This also worked for just as well for the opposite sex. So, I'm gathering moms would do it for their sons. Unless maybe sons were into it. I don't know. Another...
I want to believe that there is, just a group of middle school boys giggling. I mean, obviously, they weren't in middle school because medieval England, but...
They pull out their string cheese.
Yeah, 12-year-old boys looking at their cheese.
No, Bertha, you have to marry me. The cheese has declared it so.
Yeah.
Another method of tyromancy was to write the possible answers to a question on separate pieces of cheese and then place them inside a cage along with a hungry rodent. Whichever piece the mouse ate first was the correct answer. Now, this manner of divination was also a form of myromancy, which we're not getting into, because that's a whole nother mancy.
So many mancies.
Right? So many mancies. During the early modern years, tyromancy's popularity kind of began to wane around, after the 1920s, cheese fortune telling pretty much disappeared, and it was probably due to the swift rise of tarot after the invention of the well-known Rider-Waite deck in 1909, which we covered, I believe, season 1. Except for occasional pop culture references, like in the video game series The Witcher and Baldur's Gate, tyromancy has become largely unknown. Now, my favorite description of it I found on Reddit under wizard posting by Vazu the Tyromancer. Necro responds, but tyromancy is so much more than just divination. Like pyromancy, all cheese falls under your command. It all starts by learning to commune with the microbes, like yeast and mold, by offering the milk solids to these invisible spirits. They supply you with not only secrets, but services as well. Eventually, you will command an army of Gouda golems, wielding blades of sharp cheddar. You will choke your foes with noxious clouds of Limburger, or drown them in a fondue typhoon. That's the way to go. Sadly, as this is essentially contract magic, no one can teach it to you. You can seek it out, but you may be called out by the spirits of alcohol and become a vintamancer instead. I wish you all the best of luck in your journey.
Wow. I feel like that gives some context to that meme that bounces around the internet every once in a while about being able to fascinate a woman by giving her cheese.
I mean, seriously. Cheese? Come on now. You show up with a bouquet of cheese, a charcuterie board, I'm in. Now, do you want to learn the tyromancy? There is no one particular way. There, obviously, like with any form of divination, the hows and whys and what's all of the things are going to vary amongst people and places and all of that, and you can dig deep into, find it in, people's grimoires and stuff like that. Or one of the wonderful things to come out of the COVID is during it, the Jennifer Billock, aka the Kitchen Witch in Chicago,
I know who that is, yeah,
begun to give classes. I have absolutely put the link in there for her tyromancy sessions. Or if you live in Chicago, she actually does them at a couple of cheese shops.
That's delightful.
Right? So you can actually... I don't know that I would do well at tyromancy. Like, I could read coffee grounds because I get to drink the coffee.
Right.
But if you put
and
cheese
you are a
in front of
coffee-based
me,
life form.
I am absolutely 1,000% a coffee-based life form. Now, if you put cheese in front of me, I don't want to waste time. I want to put it in my face.
Yeah.
I want to eat it. I don't want to read it.
No.
And I think that would cloud my judgment, because I'd be like, oh, look, it says you're lovely. Give me the cheese. So I don't think that I would excel.
I mean, if anybody's bringing you cheese, I feel like whatever they're trying to get, they can have. They've done the work.
Right. You have cheese, you can have.
Yeah.
So I don't think that particular form of divination is in my future, but that wouldn't stop me from taking a class in it. Just because, cheese.
I mean, you'd probably get to eat the leftovers.
Oh, cheese really is delightful. It really, really is.
I'm just thinking of, wasn't there a famous Virgin Mary on a grilled cheese sandwich at some point?
Probably.
Or on toast? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is clearly tyromancy, and they're a witch.
Witch. I do believe that brings us to
Uh-oh.
the weekly worst way to die. Dost thou have one, or shall I go first?
I do have one.
Yes.
And it is dairy. For me, I would die. I am allergic, and death by dairy would be deeply uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, mine is in a cheeseless cave.
So we can switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Everybody's happy.
Indeed. So, hey, do you want to be spooky internet friends?
Obviously.
You can find us at Bones and Bobbins on Instagram, Facebook, probably not so much on Twitter. I will never call it the other name. Maybe we'll show up on Threads. I don't know. We do have a TikTok, but haven't put anything on it.
I think I might have opened the Threads. Now I can't remember.
Either way, you can find us. We're not too tough to find.
No, we're very online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And while you're poking around for us on the internet, don't forget to rate and review this podcast. It pleases the internet gremlins, and that's how we show up in recommendations so that other morbid souls can find us.
Bring forth the morbid souls and tell us what your favorite cheese is.
Oh, God. The nightmares.
And on that note, speaking of nightmares, let us leave you with some advice that you should never forget. Lock your doors.
And don't run with scissors.
Especially in a cave.
No, I feel like cheese caves would be slippery.
Bumpy terrain.
Anyway, let's just leave that right there.
Each episode of the Bones and Bobbins podcast is written and researched by Haley Pearson Cox and Natalie Hoyce. Our music was composed by Loyalty Freak Music. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Bones and Bobbins. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, or check us out wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts so you won't miss a minute of our strange and creepy content.